Alright, hi Trekking Trumpeters. Here we are at the Eiffel Tower. I will read the second installment of A Trumpet Player's Guide to Being Your Own Best Teacher. Ta-ta-ta. This is the end of the preface titled The Organization of This Book. Just a little note about how I organized the book and what to expect from the chapters. Coming up, here we go. The organization of this book. Each section of this book was formed from the notes in my observation notebooks. Much of the content is specific to trumpet playing, but can be used for any instrument and, I hope, turned into an analogy for any path in life. My observations that form each chapter of the book are to serve as reminders to keep me closer to my principles. Just as important as what I've written is how I've organized all I've written. The idea, as more thoroughly explained throughout the book, is to consolidate all of the observations into fundamentals, and using these fundamentals to arrive at your personal principles. Looking at the process as such, the importance of the book lies at the front, starting with the three principles: honey, thunder, and pendulum. As you can see, that is my main idea, the goal of all of these observations and hard work. But I've learned many times over that a simple reminder of my principles just isn't enough, so I've organized the remainder of the book to be progressive depending on how much I need. For example, the last two sections are what equipment I've used in the biography section about myself. Neither of these two topics do I want to think about often, nor do I want others to think about when they think of playing the trumpet or following their own paths. I'd rather remember my own principles and at the same time have people know me by my principles rather than what I've done and what tools I've used to do that. With that in mind, I find most of my practical trumpet playing help in the principles, daily routine, fundamentals, and matters of music sections. When that isn't enough, I'll read the exercises and examples of music I can practice to work on something specific. When that isn't enough, I'll read other books that I found to be helpful in the past. When that isn't enough, I'll read what I've written to pull myself out of an emotional low or a high to remember everything is okay. When that isn't enough, I'll read about the ways I can better my state of mind. When that isn't enough, I'll read about what I can do away from the trumpet to learn, have fun, challenge myself, and generally become a better person. When that isn't enough, I will read my personal reflections. When that isn't enough, I'll read the favorable quotes that I've benefited from at some point in my life. When that isn't enough, I'll read my thanks and well wishes to all those who have helped me in every way during my life. I hope this last section of gratitude always is enough. Gratitude is dear to my heart and pulls me in the right direction. But when I need something more, I'll read my gear section and remember all the great concerts and time spent practicing with that equipment. When that isn't enough, I'll remember to whom I dedicated this book to and why it was so important that I work on this project. When that isn't enough, I'll read my bio and remember all the great experiences I've had in my life. I think this will cover my bases for progressing on the trumpet. My hope is that I needn't go past the cover page, but everything else is there to ensure I keep being my own best teacher. I invite you to do the same. So that's the end of the preface. We'll start with chapter 1 next time. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Hope you enjoy. Au revoir.